3 effective habits to take with you into the next year. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Anthony with AJ Audio and Production, and welcome to my home studio and my new YouTube channel. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I release new content right here every Monday on this channel. Let me first start off by saying Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Christmas is tomorrow. Today is Christmas Eve. And thank you so much for taking this journey and riding along with me. Now let's get to it. Number 1. So the number 1 thing I want you guys to take with you, which I'm learning to do with myself as well, take this with you into the next year. Consistency. Consistency is huge. And what I mean by consistency is if you're going to be mixing a song, someone hires you to do live sound, production, stage management, whatever that is, set the level that you perform at and stick with that level. Try not to fluctuate up and down, even though you may be tired, you may be, you might not feel like it, things of that nature. Try to keep your performance level at the same level, if not greater than. Always try to go to that next level, try to go above and beyond what you do on today's mix versus what you did on yesterday's mix. One thing that would definitely help you guys with remaining consistent is get away from all of these plugins. I know that's going to sound crazy, but listen, hear me out. One of the main problems that I found myself having for years as I was learning to engineer is that I had too many plugins. Yes, too many plugins. I used to be that guy I was part of the group of which I know a lot of you guys still are. I had the whole Waves Mercury bundle cracked and downloaded onto my computer, which gave me hundreds and hundreds of plugins. And what I found myself doing is in the middle of mixing, rather than me going to my go-to plugins, the ones that I use for everything, I'd find myself searching for new plugins. So I never got an opportunity to really master the ones that I was familiar with to create my own brand, my own sound. So probably about 2.5, 3 years ago, I decided to go clean. I deleted the Waves Mercury. I purchased the Waves Platinum Bundle. I purchased my auto-tune plugins. I subscribed to the Slate subscription, which gives me those plugins. I bought a couple of extra Waves plugins. I purchased plugins for my Apollo Twin Thunderbolt. And within those, I'm finding with the fewer plugins that I have, the more productive my mixes are. The more time I can spend with my mixes, because now I'm going to the plugins that I use on everything, and I know what those plugins do. I know what they sound like, and so my mixes are beginning to sound more consistent. So I say that to say this. Try to use less to get more. So consistency, work on that. Take that with you into the next year. If you're at that point where you can go legit and get rid of the crack plugins, try it. There's a sense of pride and worth that comes from your work, knowing that everything that you're using is stuff that you purchased for your craft, for your career. They're investments in your career. So I encourage you to invest in your career and become and remain more and more consistent every mix, every week. Number 2, branding. This is a huge thing that I'm working on and that I'm learning about daily. It's your brand. For a long time, I would go places and people would ask me, you have a business card? You got it? And I would never have a business card because I would just give out my phone number and just assume, I'll get business off of word of mouth. I'm learning that that's not good enough anymore. You have a brand. You are your own calling card. And I recently just took time and designed my own business cards, my AJ Audio logo on it. I created my own logo. I do Photoshop. In fact, on the back of my business card, since I'm working on my brand, is a list of all the things that I do. So on the front, it has my personal information and number. It has my current information as far as what I do as far as professionally, live sound, studio engineering, stage management, things of that nature. And then on the back, it has a full list. It's a resume of what I do and what I've done. It doesn't give specific details, but it gives information like production manager, stage manager, production coordinator, live sound engineering, training, studio engineering, mixing and mastering, graphic design, and video editor. Those are all things that I do that are now on my business card, and below it is access to all of my social media information. So whenever I hand this card to somebody, I give them full access to my brand and what I do, which is why on these videos, I make sure that my brand is placed in every shot of the image. It may be brand overkill. I don't know. I do a watermark overlay, and I do the brand on the monitors. I don't know, but I'm learning that branding is extremely important, and it's something that that we should all work on, so that when people hear your name, we know what we get before we see you. If you hear Timberland created a track, you already know what's coming with that brand before you see them. If you hear that Beyonce is doing a concert, you know what's coming with that brand before you see it. Drake, you know what's coming with that brand before you see it or hear it. So that's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm trying to get to. As far as studio engineering, if I hear Steven Slate, I know what I'm getting. If I hear Tony Maserati, I know what I'm getting. If I hear Pensado, I know what I'm getting. So it's really important that myself as a studio engineer, as a composer, as a producer, as a vocal arranger, as a mix engineer, as a mastering engineer, I need to make sure that my brand carries its own weight, so that when people hear AJ Audio, they know what's coming out before you even hear it or see it. So that's the point. Take that note, take it with you. Get some cards made, get a website, get your Facebook pages, get your Instagrams, get Twitter. Work on your brand. Let people know who you are before they see you. All right. Lastly, the last thing that I think we should all take into the next year, and this is with forget the next year, take this into tomorrow, take this into next week, take this into the next second, the next minute. Look, shut up and mix. At the end of the day, shut up and mix. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. When I first got started, it wasn't a pretty start for me. I learned what I learned. I started with live sound, and I learned that on my own. Actually, I started with studio engineering, then moved to live sound. But either way it goes, I learned that on my own. And what I found was whenever I put the information out, it wasn't the best feedback from other people in the audio or production community. I got feedback that it didn't sound good, that I did this wrong, or this was trash, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm going to be honest with you, at the beginning of it, it hurt my feelings. So much to the point that I just wanted to stop doing it in general. I didn't want to, pursue my dreams because of what other people were saying. And what I had to learn was I just had to shut up my inner feelings and shut up the surrounding critics. And I just had to mix my project. Your projects are going to get better as you progress. The more you do, the better it's going to sound. I have a folder on my computer that's labeled Humble Beginnings, and it's all of my mixes that from my first recording that I did when I was 16 years old. I still have that recording. And when I compare that to now, it's a completely different ball game. I sound nothing like I did then. So my encouragement to you guys is to not listen to what the naysayers say. Don't listen to what other people are telling that you can't do. Shut up and mix. Just shut up, go out there and do it anyway. Nobody can stop you from being the next entrepreneur. Nobody can stop you from being the next platinum recording artist. The only thing that can stop you is time itself and your decision not to make the next move to do it. All right? So that's all I got for you today. Take that into your 2019. As always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I release new content right here on this channel every Monday just for you guys. I'll see you next week. Merry Christmas. Coming next week. Happy New Year. Peace.